Hello and welcome. My name is 5K the Pharaoh, and today we will be exploring one of the most unique Minecraft servers ever created. This map is a project designed by a company called Reporters Without Borders. Their main focus is preserving the right to freedom of information as well as protecting journalists who may face abuse. Many different governments from many different countries restrict news articles and information from their citizens for reasons that are sometimes unclear. Reporters Without Borders, along with a company called Blockworks, released a collaborative Minecraft server on March 12, 2020, granting millions of people access to information that is restricted in their country of residence. This is so much more than just a Minecraft world. This is a project dedicated to preserving our rights as humans. This is the Uncensored Library. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go check out the Uncensored Library. One quick disclaimer, in order to access this server, you need to be running Minecraft 1.16.5. I will include a tutorial on how to install previous versions of Minecraft in the description below, as well as the link to download the Uncensored Library. But we're gonna jump right in. This is gonna be really cool. Let's see here. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible. Let's just dive right in. Welcome to the Uncensored Library from Reporters Without Borders. In many countries, the internet is controlled by oppressive regimes. The media is censored and websites are blocked, but Minecraft is still accessible. We are using this loophole to bypass internet censorship and make independent information available again. Journalists from different countries, despite having been banned, jailed, exiled, and even killed, now have a place to make their voices heard again. Their forbidden articles are republished within books inside this library. To inform players around the world about the real political situation in their countries, let us stand up for our right to information and let the world know that the truth can never be silenced. Wow, this is incredible. Such a big map that my render distance needs to catch up with it. Here we have a book on something that is called the Press Freedom Index. It is a ranking created by Reporters Without Borders that grades every single country based on certain criteria on how free the press is in their country, how protected is their right to information. The top 10 is Norway, Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Switzerland, New Zealand, and Portugal. Something that surprised me, but also didn't surprise me, was how low both the UK and the United States are. The UK is at 35th, and the United States is 10 spots behind at 45th. Another shocking one is Japan at 66. The bottom 10 is North Korea, Turkmenistan, Eritrea, China, Djibouti, Vietnam, Syria, Iran, Laos, Cuba. None of those really surprise me. Unfortunately, you hear a lot about those countries having extreme restrictions, not only from the press and from information, but just in life in general. Those countries are extremely invasive when it comes to human rights. So there are 5 different countries within this library that we're going to take a look at today. Before we get into it, we're going to take a copy of the book, which is pretty cool that they allow you to do that. And here is the full map based on the Press Freedom Index that we just discussed. As you can see, the darker the color, the less freedom of press and freedom of information in that country. Another very cool aspect is this dome that has the flag of every single nation on Earth. It's truly incredible to see the time and effort and attention to detail that went into a map like this. This is incredible. It's somewhat hard to read with the glass, but it says #truth finds a way. The first country we're going to examine is Russia. Russia ranks 155th out of 180 countries on the Press Freedom Index. We are in the Russia gallery. This is incredible. There is a giant kraken coming out of the water. In the background, it looks like something from the Matrix. It's the binary number system. Another country we have here is Vietnam. Vietnam ranks 174th out of 180 countries. Here is Vietnam's gallery, the Labyrinth of Truth, which is a maze that leads to where the articles are posted. Another incredible gallery. The architecture in the building in these is just unbelievable. The next country on our list is Saudi Arabia. I am truly blown away by how well the galleries are constructed. It's unbelievable. This is one of those worlds that truly takes you beyond what you would have thought is possible in Minecraft. Looks like we have a cage in the middle here that I assume represents the restrictions of the media. One of those 5 countries is Mexico. Let's have a look. Mexico ranks 144th out of 180 countries in the World Press Freedom Index. Yet another incredible gallery. Each one of these little podiums is a memorial for a reporter who was killed. Francisco Romero Diaz. Francisco Romero Diaz was a freelance journalist specializing in police and justice affairs, collaborated for the newspaper Quintana Rojoy, and founded the Facebook page of local information, Ocurrió Aquí. Sorry if I mispronounced that. His work earned him regular death threats. He was murdered in Quintana Roo State on May 16, 2019. Although the federal mechanism for protecting journalists had given him a panic button and a police bodyguard, they were not with him when he was gunned down. Rest in peace to Francisco and all the reporters represented here, and all those who are not represented here. The next gallery we have is Egypt. Let's take a look. Yet again, some incredible work done by the creators of this world. In the middle here we have a old-fashioned scale, which is commonly used to represent justice. As you can see, it's unbalanced. Maybe that represents the fact that there is a flawed system. Truly incredible. The final gallery we're going to go into is actually created by Reporters Without Borders, who I've mentioned are the masterminds behind this idea. So we're going to take a look in here and see what it has to offer. Please fly to the right end of this room and find a book about Reporters Without Borders. The floating blocks will reveal their message when you stand behind the book. Here's the book. Wow, that is pretty cool. Truth. Reporters Without Borders for Freedom of Information. RSF is the world's biggest NGO specializing in the defense of media freedom, which we regard as the basic human right to be informed and to inform others. Where governmental media censorship and disinformation campaigns are on a rise globally, RSF fights for the truth to be known. At the turn of the 21st century, nearly half of the world population still lacks access to free information. Deprived of essential knowledge and manipulated by disinformation, they are prevented from living in a political system in which factual truth serves as the basis for their life choices. If journalists were not free to report the facts, denounce abuses, and alert the public, how would we resist the problem of child soldiers, defend women's rights, preserve our environment, or fight against political mismanagement? In some countries, torturers stop as soon as they are mentioned in the media. Corrupt politicians have to step back when their activities are revealed, and massacres are prevented when the international media focus their attention and cameras on events. Giving people access to the truth has an impact on all aspects in their lives and the societies they live in. Freedom of press is one of the most valuable possessions humanity can hold, the very foundation of physical and mental freedom, and we need to defend it every day without compromise. There cannot be freedom without press freedom. Go to uncensoredlibrary.com and find out how you can help. That link right there, the link's below in the description. Another incredible display of art here in this world is how it's just a bunch of random blocks floating that make up the word truth. That's impressive. I have no idea how they were able to do that. That is too cool. Another really cool feature of this map is that when you're in the dome with all the flags, you can walk over to your own country, click on it, and it'll give you a brief rundown of what goes on within that country, along with the current Press Freedom Index ranking. One that I'm truly interested in reading is North Korea. North Korea currently does not have its own gallery within the library, So we're going to read the book behind the flag. As we saw in the beginning, they are 180th dead last. Headed by Kim Jong-un since 2012, North Korea's totalitarian regime continues to keep its citizens in a state of ignorance. The widespread adoption of mobile phones, including smartphones, has been accompanied by technical measures that provide the regime with almost complete control over communications and files transmitted over the national intranet. North Koreans can still be sent to a concentration camp for viewing, reading, or listening to content provided by a media outlet based outside of the country. The Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, is the only permitted source of official news for the country's other media. Ostensibly, the Korean authorities are displaying greater flexibility towards the international media, allowing more foreign reporters to cover official events. In September 2016, agency France Presse even opened a bureau in partnership with KCNA, as the Associated Press already did in 2012. In reality, the regime continues to exercise meticulous control over the information available to the foreign media. So it sounds to me like even though they are letting in foreign journalists and foreign media outlets, they still restrict what those outlets hear and see. So in the end, it truly makes no difference. They still have total control over what the world truly knows about North Korea. That, my friends, is the Uncensored Library. I'm not going to read any of the articles in this video because they do contain some sensitive topics. I read some of them privately, and truthfully, they contain some things that I don't want to discuss on this channel. However, I still want to use this platform to spread useful information, even if it's through a video game. I truly hope this video gets a ton of views so that many more people can learn about this incredible server. Not only is the idea and the concept of it amazing, time and effort put into the build is amazing. 10 out of 10. If you're seeing this, please share so that more people can have access to this server. If you enjoyed, please like. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe. My other content is definitely a bit more upbeat, so if that's more your vibe, check out my other videos. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.